evening, everybody, and welcome back to Gary Berry Stadium for high school football. I am Barry Reed. Tonight's game, the Mitchell Marauders and the visiting Riverdale Ridge Ravens. Ravens come in at 1-3. The Marauders still looking for the first win on the season. And we are underway. This kick heading for the corner, and it will be a touchback. And the Marauders will take over at their 20, 1st and 10. Marauders come in at 0-3, and they have made a change at quarterback. Calling the signals now will be Edward Scott. Scott under center, looking to throw. Now has to pull it down, and he is going to go down in a heap. Good pressure, good containment by Riverdale Ridge. It's going to be a sack and a loss of 4. Bring up 2nd and 14 for the Marauders. Second and 14 for the Marauders now. And a timeout called by Jeremy Callett, the head coach of the Marauders. So not a great start for this Mitchell squad, not the start you look for. Mitchell already a victim of the COVID-19, lost a game back on the 23rd of this month due to COVID precautions. Last week in their first game back, they lost to Holy Family by the score of 63-14. Two backs with Edwards, with Scott in the backfield now for the Marauders. Cruz goes in motion. Back is Scott, and over the middle, Osvaldo Sanchez was the intended receiver. It goes off of his fingertips and incomplete. It will be 3rd and 14. Nice night temperature, about 56 degrees at kickoff, just underway if you're joining us. And thank you for joining us on the Mitchell Marauders YouTube channel. 3rd and 14 for the Marauders. Sanchez in motion from the right side, reset on the left side. Scott with the keeper straight up the middle, breaking tackles out to the 24-yard line. He will pick up 8, but that will bring up 4th and 6 for the Marauders. Trevor Miller, the sophomore for Riverdale Ridge, with the initial sack. This punt off the foot of Sanchez is going to hit and take a Marauder roll, and it will be down at the 35-yard line, and that is where the Ravens will start with their first possession of the ball game. Aiden Burns will get the start for the Ravens tonight. 25 of 76 25 of 76 passing this year. 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Three receivers to the right. Give it to the back coming near side, and he will be tripped up. Knifing through there, Elisaiah Atto, a linebacker for the Marauders. Braylon Fenderson, the tailback, a senior. Little read option, give it to him again. And he is going to snake his way out across the 40-yard line before he is brought down. 3rd and 2 coming up now for the Ravens. Two receivers right, one to the left. Back over the middle, complete for the first down at the 47-yard line. Completion of 5 yards. Trey Cummings, the junior wide receiver, 8 catches coming into tonight's ball game for 100 yards. That'll give him 9 for approximately 105. And a first down for the Ravens. Spread the formation. Fenderson working the left side, fighting his way, breaking tackles, and he'll be ahead for a gain of 13 all the way down to the 40-yard line. And another first down for Riverdale Ridge. Broken tackle at the line of scrimmage. And Fenderson is ahead for 5 more. Elijah Shields, the 5'8" sophomore for the Marauders, had him at the line of scrimmage. But Fenderson able to break the tackle. Two receivers right, give it off to Fenderson around that right side, finding a little bit of a seam and working his way down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Pickup of 16. Marcus Ford in on the tackle for the Marauders. Little crossbuck action and the give off. This is Bell. Bell came into the game with 51 rushing yards on 13 carries. He'll pick up 5 there, down to the 19. Fenderson rotates out now. Lofton and Lewis and Mazurek, and there is a flag. Motion on Riverdale Ridge. That'll back the Ravens up, and we will have a 2nd and 10. Back end complete out to the right-hand side as Burns whips it out there. Complete to Mazurek for the first down. And off the left side, fighting into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. 6:04 of the first quarter. And that is Bell with the touchdown. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the celebration on the Ravens sidelines as they get ready for the extra point. That kick is up and good. Just sneaking it through the left-hand side. So 6:04 left to go here in quarter number one. And Riverdale Ridge takes their first possession all the way down and scores. Lane Hawkins to do the kicking duties for the Ravens. This ball is going to be gathered in about the 10-yard line. Fighting his way back up the middle before he's brought down out across the 25, close to the 30-yard line. Trying the left side and not a whole lot there, but Ravens from that defensive line. Cooper Stolte, the linebacker, with the tackle. 2nd and 10 for the Marauders. Three receivers bunched to the right-hand side. Handoff underneath for the Marauders. Marcus Ford with some room to run, tries to cut it back. And he'll be down at the 40. That is a gain of 10 and should be enough for the first down. Caden Mazurek, the senior, in on the tackle. So if you're tuning in from the Thornton area, thank you for tuning in and following your Ravens on the Mitchell YouTube channel. Quick pass out into the flats. Flag comes flying late on the play. Pass is complete to Macy Davenport. Personal foul on the Ravens, roughing the passer, and that's going to turn this 5-yard loss into a first down for the Marauders. So move the Marauders all the way into Raven territory at the 45. Let's see if they can do anything with it. Shotgun for Edward Scott, looking for Sanchez. Down about the 20-yard line, broken up. Incomplete. Cam Lewis, the sophomore, in coverage for Riverdale Ridge. We do have a flag on the play. See if Mitchell gets the pass interference call here or just what the call is. And that call is pass interference on Riverdale Ridge. So 10 more for the Marauders. Move the ball all the way down to the 30. Marcus Ford to the left of Scott. Give him the handoff, break through, and almost broke out into the open. With the tackle. So second and 10, second and 11 with the loss of one for the Marauders. Scott back, looks about it. Now he's going to get chased out, breaking a tackle, but now he will get swarmed in. And that will be a sack, as Edward Scott had no chance to escape there. Just too much pressure from this Ravens defensive line. It's going to make it 3rd and 13 for the Marauders. Mitchell getting the advantage of the personal foul, roughing the passer and the pass interference. Timeout taken by Mitchell. That is their second here in the first half. And it comes with 3:17 to go in the quarter.
District 11 Athletics would like to thank Angel Law for providing drone services for tonight's game. Thank you, Angel Law.
Look inside the huddle for the Riverdale Ridge Ravens, making the trip down to take on the Marauders. The Ravens come in at 1-3 on the year. 27-17, 10-point loss to Pueblo East. They beat Niwot in overtime. And then a setback to Lewis Palmer and Discovery Canyon. And now they take on the Marauders in this COVID-19 shortened season. Group of 4 receivers, including Marcus Ford on the left-hand side. Scott in trouble, and he is going to be brought down. Coming off the corner and getting to Scott before he could get away. That is Caius Johnson, the Raven safety. That's going to make it 4th and 23 all the way out at the 43-yard line. So Mitchell, after the 2 penalties, unable to do anything against this Ravens defense. Mitchell going forward on 4th and 23. Scott comes up and he is going to get tripped up. He will lose another yard on the sack. Trevor Miller, the sophomore, gets in and gets the sack, and that is the first sack of the year for Trevor Miller. beatings continue on the sidelines for Trevor Miller. So 1st and 10, Riverdale Ridge at their own 45. Give off to Fenderson, and Fenderson is ahead for a gain of 9 out to the 46 of the Marauders before he is tripped up. Second and 1 Ravens. Snap it back, give it to Fenderson. Fenderson around the corner and into the open. And that is a 46-yard touchdown dash off the left-hand side, and with 1:37 left on the first quarter clock, the Ravens put another touchdown up, 13-0 over the Marauders. And the kick again is up and good. Elijah Lofton, the sophomore, .137 here in the first, and Riverdale Ridge has had the ball twice and scored twice. This kick is going to come down at the 5. And returned around the right-hand side across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. So the Marauders will have it for the 3rd time. Scott sends 3 receivers to the right and give it to Marcus Ford, and Ford is going to get swallowed up. That is Trevor Miller making his presence felt here early in this game. No gain on the play. Mitchell playing with underclassmen across the line. And Edward Scott, running for his life, breaks into the open. And he will be ahead close to a 1st down. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. Manika Hunter, Anthony Sodden, Jasper Dixon, Quentin Elmore, and Caden Baker, this offensive line for the Marauders. Quite a bit of shuffling due to injuries. Roman Evangelista, the big one. And running close to the 1st down was Scott, chased from behind. is going to be enough for a first down for the Marauders. I don't have height or weight on Riverdale Ridge. And that is the end of the first quarter here from Gary Berry Stadium. Riverdale Ridge 14, and the Marauders looking for their first points here tonight, 14-0 in favor of the Ravens. Mitchell with it, look to start the second, and breaking through is Marcus Ford. He's out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And the keeper off the right-hand side again. Marcus Ford running with some authority there for the first down all the way out to the midfield stripe. And Scott back to throw, has a man. This is going to be intercepted. Intercepted at the 25-yard line and returned all the way back close to midfield. In coverage back there for Riverdale Ridge. That was Gavin Black, the left cornerback. And Black comes up with the interception. Black will be marked out of bounds at the Riverdale Ridge 45. Now a penalty is going to back them up. So a post-possession foul. Fake the handoff, and Aiden Burns rolls out into the flat. Has the receiver out across the Elijah Lofton, out across midfield into Mitchell territory. Gain of 16 on the pass. This handoff to Fenderson around the left-hand side. Fenderson with room to run. Finally gets tripped up there about the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of 14 and a first down. Riverdale Ridge quickly back to the line, looking to up-tempo this game with a 2-touchdown lead. Fenderson again with the handoff off the right-hand side. Ahead for a gain of 6 to bring up a 2nd and 4. And immediately back to the line is Burns. And we've got a flag on the play, stopping it before the Ravens can get the play underway. Motion against the Ravens. That'll back it up and make it 2nd and 9. One of the dangers when you try to go hurry up is going too fast, not getting everybody set. Three receivers to the right of the formation for the Ravens. Handoff to the right, kicking it back to the left, and getting down to the 25-yard line. Mass substitutions. Isaiah Lockhart with the carry for the Ravens. Lockhart came in with 9 carries for 55 yards coming into this game in the first 4. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right in the spread. Lockhart still in the backfield. Give it to him, break a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and find positive yardage down to the 20-yard line. Gain of 5, bring up 2nd and 5. Heavy rotation for Riverdale Ridge on the skill positions. And that is going to be encroachment on the Marauders. That should be enough for a first down for Riverdale Ridge. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Jacob Williamson, the 6'5" sophomore, trying to make something happen, jumping across. Burns out into the flat. That ball is tipped and picked. But now, was it fumbled on the sidelines? It was. So the interception was made. And the Ravens able to create a turnover of their own back at the 14-yard line. Now the officials talking about it. So it'll go as an interception for the Marauders. But then the strip fumble, giving it back to the Ravens. Three receivers to the left. Give it off on the keeper, and a nice job of stringing it out and dropping him for a 5-yard loss. Lockhart with the toe with the tackle for the Marauders, knifing up and through. Loss all the way back to the 20-yard line on the play. 2nd and 16. Clock running, 7:36 before halftime. Fenderson, and this one's going to be picked off again by the Marauders. They were throwing a little curl route. And the second interception. Matt Thompson with the pick for the Marauders. And this time the Marauders hang on to the ball, stopping the drive, taking over at the 16-yard line. So 2 interceptions by Aiden Burns in just the last couple of minutes stops the Ravens dead in their tracks. Give it to Ford off the left-hand side, and he's going to slug his way out across the 15, close to the 20-yard line. Lane Hawkins in the vicinity. Last man off of the bottom of that pile. Looks like he knocked his shoe off, trying to get his shoe back on. Pickup of 2, going to make it 2nd and 8. Big hole off the right-hand side for Ford. And Ford will have it out close to the 25-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for the Marauders. Ball spotted just shy of the 25. Mitchell needs the 27 for the first down. 3 receivers bunched to the right of the formation. Spread it out. Give it ahead for the first down off the right-hand side to Ford. Just following Baker and Elmore on the right side of that Mitchell line. Inside of 6 minutes until the half. And the pass out into the flats a little bit too tall. Incomplete, intended for Demetrius Bigelow. 2nd and 10 for the Marauders. Edwards has it, pulled it down, now throws it out into the flat to Ford, and Ford cannot take advantage of it. It was a jailbreak on that defensive line, led by Lane Hawkins and Miller. That is going to make it 3rd and 10 for the Marauders offense. Receivers to the right of your screen for the Marauders. Here comes pressure, and down is going to go Scott. Coming all the way around on a linebacker blitz. Cooper Stolte came all the way from the left outside linebacker spot all the way around his defense and still got to Scott for the sack. That's going to make it 4th and about 19. For the Marauders. Sanchez in to do the punting. Sanchez starts at, or stands at his 10. Gathered in, and the return from about the 40 of Riverdale Ridge. And a return of about 20 yards to the 40. That is Caden Mazurek with the return. The senior free safety doing the kick returning duties. Single man in the backfield. Bring Johnson in motion, give it straight up the middle. is Bell in the backfield now with the carry. Carries it all the way down to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 3. Pistol for Burns. Give it straight up the middle again and breaking through to the right-hand side. Looking for the corner and in for the end zone, or in for the touchdown. 4:06 of the second, and the Ravens have another touchdown. That is Bell taking it to the house. And for Bell, that is touchdown number 2 with the early one tonight, I believe. So 20-0 pending the extra point. High snap. Kick is down and good. And it is 21-0 here. 4:06. Despite the 2 turnovers by the Ravens, the Marauders just unable to do anything tonight offensively. At least unable to string anything together. Jeremy Callip in his first year as head coach of the Marauders looking for something. Move quarterback Macy Davenport out to the slot to try to generate a little more offense there. Put Edward Scott, who had some quarterback reps last year, at the quarterback spot for the Marauders. Marcus Ford became the main running back over Cruz Garcia. But so far it is not paying dividends for the Marauders. Comes down at about the 7-yard line. Still on his feet and finally bulldogged down out at the 25-yard line. .357 on the clock before halftime. Marauders come out, send 3 to the left side of the formation. Scott has to catch the high snap and just try to do something with it. It's going to turn into no gain on the play as he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Again, Miller and Hawkins in the vicinity. Too much penetration out of the defensive front 4 for the Ravens. Ford lines up to the left. High snap to Scott again. In trouble again, throws it out for Sanchez. Incomplete, and it will be 3rd and 10. Just 28 points for the Marauders in 3 games this year. Clock stops with 3:10. 3rd and 10 for the Marauders. Scott gives it off to Ford this time around the right-hand side. Mitchell spreads it out trying to break Marcus Ford, but so far the Ravens are having none of it. Ford is able to pick up 8 on the play, but it's going to be 4th and 2. for the Marauders. And the offense still on the field for the Marauders, trailing by 21, trying to get something going here. Two receivers stacked to the right of your screen. Flag flies before the play gets underway. And Ford gets tripped up shy of the 35. So if this is on Riverdale Ridge, it'll go to the Marauders' advantage. If not, it might just be declined and turned over on downs. And it is motion against the Marauders. It will be declined, and turning it over on downs are the Marauders. It'll be 1st and 10 for Riverdale Ridge at the 34-yard line. If you're tuning into the Mitchell High School YouTube channel to watch this one, either from Colorado Springs or from the Thornton area, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting high school athletics. And there is motion on Riverdale Ridge. The left side getting an early start. That was Bell on the left wing getting an early start. That'll cost his team 5. Lewis and Lofton left in the formation. Cummings and Mazurek on the right. Give it straight up to middle to Fenderson. And Fenderson is going to be back to the 35-yard line, picking up 4 of the penalty yards. Two minutes before halftime, 1:55 and counting. And Riverdale Ridge looking to put up one more tally before halftime. Motion coming across is Lewis. Roll burns out into the flat, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Trey Cummings. It will be 3rd and 11 with one clock stopped with 1:37 to go on the clock. Spreading it out again are the Ravens. 3 receivers to the right. Burns looks back, and he's throwing the home run ball down the left-hand side, laying out for it, but unable to come up with it. Pass intended out there for Mazurek. And it will be 4th and 11. 3rd and final timeout called by the Mitchell Marauders here with 1:30 left to go. And Riverdale Ridge facing 4th and 11, leading 21-0 here on a nice night in Colorado Springs. Temperatures in the mid-50s with a chance to fall to the low 50s by the end of the ball game. So here we go, 4th and 11 for Riverdale Ridge. Fenderson to the right of Burns. Burns rolls out to the right, throws it out into the flat, and it's complete for the first down yardage. Down to the 18-yard line to Mazurek. Fenderson shifts behind Burns. Give it to Fenderson around the right-hand side. And second down, Fenderson carries it down to the 11-yard line, pickup of 7 on the play. Timeout taken by Riverdale Ridge. 55.4 on the clock, looking to put a fourth tally onto the books before we go to halftime. And there is the signal to play. Burns keeps it after the fake to Fenderson, rolling out to the left-hand side, and he will be ushered out of bounds about the 3-yard line. Good pursuit, but able to get the first down. It'll be first and goal. Aiden Burns with a carry, came into the game with 22 carries for 54 yards. So now first and goal from the 3, 47 seconds on the clock. Mazurek split to the right of the formation. Bring Lewis in coverage, give it off to Lewis. Lewis finds a little seam and dances into the end zone for the touchdown. 27-0 with 42.5 seconds left. And the celebrating on the Riverdale Ridge sideline continues. Well-designed jet sweep. And the party continues. And the extra point is up and good. 28-0. Complete and total domination by Riverdale Ridge here in the early going in the first half. Nothing sluggish after that bus ride down from the Thornton area. This kick comes down short, fielded. I believe that's Sanchez for the Marauders. And he is met about the 27-yard line. Let's see what the Marauders can do here with the final 36 seconds of the half. They've shown a slight ability to move the ball tonight, but not been able to string 3 or 4, 5, 6 plays together to put an actual drive together. They do have the back-to-back interceptions of Aiden Burns to show on the defensive side, but that defense has also given up 4 touchdowns tonight. Scott takes the snap, pressure coming, rolling, running for his life, doubles back, breaks a tackle, but he is not going to escape the pressure. Doubling in on that defensive line. Loss of 5 on the play. Derek Olivas, I believe, with the tackle. Timeout, Riverdale Ridge, their second of the half, with 26 or 24.6 ticks on the clock. Taking a look at the schedule, Pueblo East has been a power recently with multiple state championships. The win for Riverdale Ridge came with Niwot in overtime. Palmer Ridge, and then of course Discovery Canyon, or check that, Lewis Palmer, and then Discovery Canyon. We saw Discovery Canyon against Mitchell early. This is a shot over the middle on the post to Sanchez. And flag flies on the play in the offensive backfield for the Marauders. The completion to Sanchez was out to the 41, but we'll see if this is coming back. Illegal man downfield for the Marauders, so it's going to come back and cost them an additional 5. Down to 10 seconds before halftime. Second and 20 for the Marauders. And ball on the ground on the exchange between Scott and Ford. Timeout, third and final for Riverdale Ridge. 13 and a half seconds left, and it will be 4th and 20 for the Marauders. Trouble on the handoff. See what Riverdale Ridge has in mind. Coach Wayne Voorhees in the huddle with his squad. The offense on the field for the Marauders, so no punt here, but no timeouts left for Riverdale Ridge, so they're going to have to end this play early and get the clock stoppage and have a play called if they're going to try to take advantage of this short field. Scott back scrambling around, now throws over the middle, and the Marauders' incomplete pass is going to not only turn the ball over to Riverdale Ridge at the 20-yard line, but it's going to leave 8.3 seconds on the clock. missed a down somewhere, or the down markers missed a down somewhere, because now it's 4th down. 8.3 seconds left. Give it off to Ford, and Ford is going to be dropped in the backfield. 4.1 seconds left. Riverdale Ridge has got to get their offense up to the ball if they're going to have a chance at anything. Are they kicking or sending the kicking unit on? That might be the call here. They will take over at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. And the kicking team is on. Elijah Lofton will try a field goal with Burns holding. It'll be a 32-yard attempt. Little bit of breeze blowing into the face of Riverdale Ridge. The kick is off the left upright and bounces out. No good as time expires in the first half. But other than the 2 interceptions, that is the worst thing to happen to Riverdale Ridge here in the first half at Gary Berry Stadium, and they will go to the halftime break leading 28-0.
For traditional education. However, challenges provide an opportunity for our students, families, staff, and community members to grow and strengthen our district. Be part of a community conversation on November 19th on the district's Facebook page as we present Beyond the Mask, a trust building and listening tour. On November 19th from Coronado High School, listen to panelists, answer questions covering the topic moving the district forward during the pandemic. Please visit www.d11.org to see a list of all events, times, and to complete a questionnaire form before each event. We hope you will join us.
What makes Colorado Springs School District 11 the standout choice for excellence in education? Some may say it's a dedicated and talented staff who are devoted to the educational learning of our students. Others may say it's the award-winning learning options available to all students, no matter their grade level. Whether it's online, hybrid, or in-person learning, D11 welcomes all learners to achieve excellence through diversity. Serving the unique needs of all students, we dare to empower our students to profoundly impact our world, and we stand ready to inspire every mind. There was a time not long ago, District 11 Media Production Services would roll their production truck to Gary Berry Stadium or to your high school gym and produce varsity sports. This team of dedicated staff members supervised student volunteers who were gaining hands-on experience producing high-quality televised events to the joy of family and friends and the community. But the technology being used was aging and also required a tremendous amount of manpower, making it difficult to cover all the sporting events involved in the school's many teams. Schools and their fans had to settle for the rationing of coverage, which did not sit well. Something had to give. Then the district found new technology that would restore the previous coverage and would allow for the expansion of the number of events that each school could produce. This new technology would empower student involvement in the planning and execution of the game broadcast like never before, highlighted by taking over the roles of producer, play-by-play announcer, and color analyst. All that is left is the recruiting and organizing of the student producers and announcers. You. Yeah, you! The search is on for high school students, freshmen all the way up to seniors, who are looking for a new challenge. Students who envision a future where they will need sharp public speaking skills, or those who dream of being in the broadcast industry, and even those students who just like to talk. Does this sound like you? Are you ready to make the commitment to become the voice of your school's athletic teams? Contact me, Barry Reed, D11 broadcast announcer, to get more information. barry.reed@d11.org or my phone 520-2269.
So morning meeting is basically, so we come in, we go to the gym, we sit in our grade levels, and then when we talk with our friends for a while, students can sign up to do a specific job. And so one student does good things, another does lunch, one helps with the Pledge of Allegiance. After we do the Pledge of Allegiance, we start to go to our classrooms.
Good things looks like first we start to get a little small stuffed animal. It's a Snoopy and a pumpkin, and we get to throw it around, and we say, does anybody have a good thing? And we throw it around.
Tell me something good.
My good thing is that today I got to go with my parents to Skate City.
My good thing is that yesterday I went to karate.
We interviewed a lot of schools before we came here, and I just was amazed at how much it mattered. The positivity of kids' experience and the support structures, and not thinking of kids as good and bad, but giving them a chance to grow. And that's what Capturing Kids' Heart has done for the school and for the kids.
Good morning, Anderson.
Well, a social contract is the teacher prints out little piece of papers and we get to answer them, like, how do you want to be treated? And we write our names on top to show that we are going to promise that, and we are going to try to be as much as possible and try to show all of that to everyone in the whole community.
I enjoy being a social contract reader because when guests come in, I get to shake their hand and know their name and like get to know them a little bit better, and I get to show them what we do around the classroom and how we do it, and we just do a bunch of stuff around the classroom.
A launch is the teacher at the end of the day, she gives us a high five and she says, if it's Friday, she says, have a great week, but if it's just like Tuesday, she says, have a great day.
Is your student lost in the world of education? Not really liking school? Achieve Online is a place for them. School for grades 6 through 12, and we strive first to build relationships, which in turn builds academics. We are unique and different from any other school. Flexible online and blended learning for students anywhere in Colorado. Take the next step and enroll today.
My journey to become a school counselor started a long time ago. I want to thank my parents, actually, for having me. I mean, that sounds kind of weird, but my mom always reminds me of that on my birthday, of course. I thank them for setting a foundation for me, for really caring about people. I know they lived their lives as my dad was a teacher. I actually had him as a 9th grade science teacher. My mom was a music teacher. She tried to teach me piano lessons, but I wasn't a really good student. But both their examples and the work that they did in the schools, at church, really set that foundation for me to be just like that. 28 years ago, I started off here in District 11 at Mark Twain Elementary as a 6th grade teacher. And that year was pivotal for me to learn how to be an effective teacher. And really what that came down to was finding my heart and speaking from my heart. And I believe I learned a lot of that from Mr. Rogers. If you think about it, Mr. Rogers says, I like you just the way you are. And all these people in my life liked me just the way I was. I didn't have to pretend. I was just who I am.
So Tim Garland, to me, is an amazing counselor. He understands what it takes to be successful in this business, and he puts his heart and soul in everything that he does. And so I know that, anytime Tim meets with a kid, he gets to know them at an exceptionally deep level, and he cares more about those kids than I would have known was possible, honestly. Tim's just an amazing counselor that way.
He has a very complete vision of what school counseling is, and he sees his role to be truly the student support in all facets of whatever that student needs. He spends a lot of time working with the kids on their non-classroom concerns so that they can be successful in the classroom.
He inspires us every day to take a deeper look about how we are working with students and how we are working with students with mental health needs. He makes sure that we, as a school, are looking at bringing in the best resources.
If I care about that one person right now, there's something behind that. And I see this hurt. I see it in their heart. I see it in their eyes. And the light that goes on, the spark that is lit in their eye when I take time to call them by name, to give them a handshake, a smile, to play their favorite music, to go for a walk around the school. To take that time that I'm really caring about them has inspired them to turn their whole thing around.
He epitomizes heart, caring, just wanting to do right by Doherty High School and by the kids we serve. He's always willing to jump in, be it through our AVID program. We're working with the Card Education Initiative on their suicide prevention network, and just the work that he's done to bring suicide to the forefront. I mean, he won't stop. It's going to happen, and that's really what he's done, is he's pushed so hard.
I'm the district counseling chair. Started 6 years ago, and before that time, or at that time, we didn't have leadership in the district office, central office. So I was liaison between the school counselors and the district. Did some professional developments on mental health, on developing why do we do school counseling, and a lot of things of that nature, and really inspiring counselors. Since then, we have leadership. We have Valerie and Corey and others who are leading our way. So I'm the Colorado School Counselor Association Region 12 representative. So I'm representing all the counselors in El Paso and Teller County, and that's quite an honor. One of the new things that happened this year was we have a counseling leadership cohort. And this is super exciting. We have a group of counselors in the district who are meeting together on a monthly basis. Yes, we drink coffee, lots of it. And we need that camaraderie to talk about planning, talk about what we're doing, talk about this profession, and like I said, elevating this profession.
Even though Tim has a huge workload and a lot of things going on and a lot of things on his plate, Tim will kind of forget about that, and he will take the time to work with the student and take the time to make sure that that student feels cared about, to make sure that that student feels heard and listened to.
I could tell you many, many stories of the impact that not only I believe I've had on students, but really their impact is on me. And not only them, but my colleagues. And we have a lot of great counselors in District 11, a lot of super counselors who are really caring from their hearts. They're going out of their way to really go the distance for students, to care for them, to help them with their social and emotional development, their academic future planning, everything. So we do a really good job in District 11 about educating the whole child.
Nestled in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains at the base of Pikes Peak is Colorado Springs, home to 5 military installations, the Olympic Training Center, many thriving colleges, fine arts venues, and School District 11, who created specialized education for gifted learners in the 1950s. At Colorado Springs School District 11, our gifted students become the creators, problem solvers, and innovators of tomorrow. District 11 is the largest school district in Colorado Springs, providing families with many different, personalized gifted options. Given the choice of program options and opportunities that District 11 schools provide, there is a perfect fit for every gifted, talented, and high-achieving learner in the Pikes Peak region. We offer successful, safe, and purposeful learning experiences. We have qualified staff that recognizes exceptionality in academic and talent areas, identifying students as young as kindergarten. K-12 programming includes Gifted Magnet, International Baccalaureate, Montessori, Accelerated and Honors options, a career and technical track, and Junior ROTC, just to name a few. We believe that gifted students need an outlet to express their creativity and to collaborate with other like-minded learners. When gifted students are not satisfied with what they're learning, they lose creativity that could potentially solve problems and change the world. An identified gifted student expressed learning this way.
Gifted classes give students like me who think differently a way to learn that fits our brain.
Gifted has no boundaries in Colorado Springs School District 11. To find out more about all we offer gifted students, visit us at www.d11.org/GT.
You are the Colorado Samsung Sell for Tomorrow winners.
in Colorado, we tend to have a lot of hail, so we thought that that would be a really good thing to help out with the community. Our project is a very cost-efficient way to help protect your car, and you don't have to pay a lot of money for it.
We're using a bunch of Newton's laws: force, gravity, drag. We're determining velocity, wind, water, and a lot of other elements.
The research that we're doing is we've looked at a lot of insurance companies to see how much people are paying to get their cars fixed for having so much hail damage.
The prize money that we are receiving already from Samsung, and hopefully more, will absolutely help the students here at West to replace and to add on to our current technology needs.
Not everybody can be on a computer at once. Sometimes everybody has to share, which isn't always the best, depending on what you have to do on the laptops.
Some of our technology is a little outdated and slower, definitely in comparison to today's standards.
I have never really been part of something this crazy.
This is actually the second year that we've participated. The contest has been in place for 10 years. We chose to be involved last year. We had about 30 students involved there, and we were state winners. And this year, we decided we wanted to give a different opportunity, so all of the students are different from last year. And we end up being state winners again 2 years in a row.
Usually whenever you get an opportunity like this, it isn't one that you would get every single time. So I think it's a very fun opportunity that could potentially open up a bunch of gates, somewhat more metaphorically, that could possibly help me and everybody else here in our future.
So these students are students who have chosen to go above and beyond and do something beyond the classroom, and because they really wanted to do something special and unique that would basically help and support their community and their school and add to their experiences here at West Middle School.
What makes Colorado Springs School District 11 the standout choice for excellence in education? Some may say it's a dedicated and talented staff who are devoted to the educational learning of our students. Others may say it's the award-winning learning options available to all students, no matter their grade level. Whether it's online, hybrid, or in-person learning, D11 welcomes all learners to achieve excellence through diversity. Serving the unique needs of all students, we dare to empower our students to profoundly impact our world, and we stand ready to inspire every mind. And welcome back to Gary Berry Stadium, everybody. Getting ready for the second half between Riverdale Ridge and Mitchell. Riverdale Ridge warming up for the second half in the north end zone. And as we pan over to the scoreboard, it was a dominant first half for the visitors, except for 2 interceptions thrown by Aiden Burns, the senior quarterback, in the course of, it was a bizarre possession because Riverdale Ridge had it through the first interception, but then Mitchell turned it over on the interception return. And Riverdale Ridge turned around a couple passes later, and Burns throws a second interception in the sequence. But other than that, and a field goal attempt at the buzzer of the first half that hit the left upright, everything's been coming up roses for the Ravens. We are ready for just about ready for the second half. Talking with some of the Ravens fans down below. Riverdale Ridge, if you've never heard of it, is in the Thornton area. This is just their third year, first year with seniors, as they started with freshmen and sophomores. So the seniors on this team that have been with the school all 3 years for this program. 1 and 3 on the year are the Ravens. looking to finish strong. Up next, they will host Lutheran and then travel to take on Frederick on the 19th to close out this 7-game stint. And unlike the Marauders, who lost a game due to COVID-19 and will look to play just 5 games, the Ravens will get the 7th week. Cam Lewis, one of the deep men for the Ravens. And it is an onside kick attempt by the Marauders. And it didn't look like the ball was going to get the necessary 10 yards. But it was covered by the Ravens right at the 50-yard line. So it did get the 10 yards. But the offense for Riverdale Ridge will come onto the field, already leading by 28. Lofton to the bottom of your screen. Mazurek in motion. Give it up the middle to Fenderson. Fenderson with some room to run. He's going to be ahead for a gain of 10 inside the 40-yard line and a first down. So picking up right where the first half left off. Fenderson coming around this near side, working his blocking, and he will be down to the 26-yard line, gain of 14. Quickly to the line, Riverdale Ridge. Burns out, throws it into the flat, and this one tipped and almost intercepted by the Marauders. Kalen Stiles in the vicinity, the 5'10" senior for the Marauders, but now quickly to the line. Burns give it off to Fenderson around the right-hand side. Fenderson will turn it up, initiate contact, and then get driven back close to the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 6 and bring up 3rd and 4. We've played right at a minute here in the 3rd quarter. Riverdale Ridge into the red zone once again. Fenderson with the carry off the right-hand side, and he's going to walk in with the touchdown. 34-0, 16 yards out for Fenderson. Braylon Fenderson had just one TD coming in to the game tonight. I think that is number 2. Lofton on for the extra point. And the extra point is good. 10:51 left to go in the 3rd quarter. It took Riverdale Ridge all of a minute and 9 seconds to move downfield and make it a 35-point advantage. Warming up down on the sideline for Riverdale Ridge is number 15, Nate Bishop, the backup quarterback. So we'll see if he spells Aiden Burns here with the 35-point lead and under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Driving kick into the corner, taken at the 6 by Ford. Ford lowers his head, trying to get low and bowl somebody over. And Gavin Black with the tackle, the senior. Ford went low, Gavin Black was a little bit lower and came up with the tackle at the 21-yard line. Mitchell starts there 1st and 10, trailing by 35. Bunch receivers to the left side of the formation, give it to Ford around the right. And Ford is going to be ahead for a gain of about 5. Cam Lewis on the tackle for the Ravens. Had another solo tackle to Lewis, who had 6 coming in to go with an interception. And now whistles, flags on the play. That is going to be encroachment on the defense. Bring up 2nd and 1 for the Marauders. And now a big hole for Ford right up the middle. Breaks it to the outside, room to run. And Marcus Ford, late flag comes in as Ford is driven out of bounds about the 35-yard line. Flag is at the 41. Now they'll move it to the 40. If it stands, it'll be a run of 30 for Marcus Ford. Best run of the night for the Marauders, biggest offensive play. But the official looks to be walking it off against the Marauders. So holding on the offense is the call, so that'll mark the ball back to the midfield stripe. Still be a 1st down, still a run of 20. But you hate to see that. Mitchell finally gets great execution on a play and gets a big gainer, getting a little momentum. And then you get the penalty. Stack the formation to the right now. Fake it to Ford, throw it to Sanchez down the middle, right up the left hash mark. Sanchez is down inside the 35, or inside the 40. We'll mark him at the 38-yard line, and another 1st down for the Marauders. So Mitchell putting together a little bit of a drive here. Bunch receivers to the right, and a keeper by Edward Scott. Scott will dance straight up the middle. Good gain of about 7 yards. He'll be spotted about the 31-yard line. 2nd and 3 for the Marauders. Give it to Ford, ball on the ground, fumble, and Riverdale Ridge says they have it. And they do. Ford coughs it up for the Marauders at the 30-yard line. And the Ravens will take over with 9:12 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And a chance to add more to this 35-0 lead. They have only have the Ravens 51 points on the year in their 1-3 campaign. Tonight they're scoring like a juggernaut. And now we've got an injured Marauder down on the ground with the carry for Riverdale Ridge. Stefan Bordagas with the carry. Short gain of 1 as they tend to one of the Marauders down there. 8:58 on the clock.
The COVID era has provided many challenges for traditional education. However, challenges provide an opportunity for our students, families, staff, and community members to grow and strengthen our district. Be part of a community conversation on November 19th on the district's Facebook page as we present Beyond the Mask, a trust building and listening tour. On November 19th from Coronado High School, listen to panelists, answer questions covering the topic moving the district forward during the pandemic. Please visit www.d11.org to see a list of all events, times, and to complete a questionnaire form before each event. We hope you will join us.
Jacob Williamson getting help off to the side, the injured Marauder. Very gingerly on his legs. So 2nd and 9 now for the Ravens. Burns is still in at quarterback. Bordagas with the carry. 3rd and we'll call it 9. Burns back, rolling out in trouble, and he will be sacked. Sanchez coming in to get the sack and bring up 4th down. Loss all the way back to the 25-yard line. Zurich on to do the punting for the Ravens. Taken in and muffed, but gathered back in at the 30-yard line and advanced out across the 40-yard line. And the returner getting to the bench, a little gimpy on his own. Oh, it looks like he just lost part of his shoe. That's good news for the Marauders. Lace it up and go back to work. 7:22 to go here in the 3rd quarter. All Riverdale Ridge, 35-0 on the Mitchell Marauders. 3 receivers to the right. Scott in trouble. Now tucks it up, and he is going to be smothered. Sam Sturdivant, the big senior with the tackle. Loss of 1 and a Marauder injured. Slow to get up is Edward Scott, and he's going to have to take a play off. Second and 11 for the Marauders. See if they move Macy Davenport back into the quarterback position for a play or until they can get Edwards back. That, or you can always just have Marcus Ford go Wildcat. But it looks like it will be the option for Davenport. It is Macy Davenport. Going to take the snap. He'll give it to Ford. And Ford will be collapsed on at the line of scrimmage. Elijah Montoya in on the tackle, the middle linebacker. Second tackle for a loss on the year for Montoya. 27 overall tackles, second on the team. Ball on the ground, bad exchange between Scott and Ford. That will be a loss of 3. Scott getting back on top of it. 4th and 14 for the Marauders as we approach 6:08 on the clock. Sanchez will boot this one into a little bit of a wind. He gets it off. It's a low line driver. Takes a Mitchell bounce. And it is down by Demetrius Bigelow for the Marauders. So now the offense back on the field for Riverdale. And looking down at the numbers, Lofton, Lewis, Burns at quarterback. Starters still on the field. Lockhart is in the backfield with Burns. 3 receivers to the right, give it to Lockhart. Read option, Lockhart still running hard. Out across the 35 to the 36. Gain of near 8 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 3. Now Lofton will come to the bench. Lewis comes to the near side, 3 receivers to the right. Burns hands it off in the pistol. And driving, and we've got a flag way down in the defensive backfield on the carry by Lockhart. Lockhart's close to midfield. Gain of 13, but we will wait to see on the flag. The flag came from 10 yards downfield. Face mask on Mitchell, the personal foul variety. That'll add 15. So 16 and then 15 on the penalty. So advance the ball 31 yards on the play. 4:50 to go here in the third quarter. Riverdale Ridge can get the clock running for the rest of the game with the score here. 3 receivers to the right. Burns and Lockhart in the backfield throwing for Masaryk, and there is the pass interference flag. And Caden Masaryk, drawing the flag. And the primary indication is pass interference against the Marauders. So there was a double penalty on the play. The pass interference moved the ball down to the 21, and then another 10-yard penalty moves it down to the 11. Two receivers left, two right in the formation. Pistol for Burns. Fake it to Lewis, give it up the middle. And inside the 5, close to the end zone, is Bell. Bell looking to toll for another time tonight, putting his team up by 40 and instigating the running clock. He'll stay in the backfield with Burns, set up to the right. Three receivers to the right, roll it out, wide open at the goal line, and falling in is Trey Cummings with the touchdown. Cummings was the inside of the tripped receivers to the right, and the celebration ongoing. The extra point up and good. 42-0, 3:20 left to go. Here in the third quarter, Riverdale Ridge improves its lead on the Marauders and puts us into a running clock situation. And they are just 9 points from doubling their complete offensive point out total on the year and improving to 2 and 3 on the year. Mitchell in danger of dropping to 0 and 4. Before they close with a trip to Niwot. And again, the next up for Riverdale Ridge is Lutheran and Frederick after tonight. And this one is squibbling towards the sidelines, and it will be out of bounds. And Mitchell will opt to take it at the 35 instead of having the kick go over again. Three receivers to the right for the Marauders. Fake it, throw it over the middle, and this one's going to be intercepted. Sanchez had it in his hands, and it popped out and right into the waiting arms of one of the Ravens. See if we can get a number with the interception. That is Isaac Bonner, the outside linebacker, just a sophomore first interception of the year for Bonner. And that's just a straight concentration play. Beaten on the play, but able to come up with the interception off the bobble. And this is going to be offense or encroachment against. No, they're saying there was movement by the Ravens. Inside of 30 seconds before the end of the third quarter. Change at quarterback for Riverdale Ridge. This is Nate Bishop on the field. Lofton and Lewis still on the field as his receivers. And that is the end of the third quarter here from Gary Berry Stadium. It is all Riverdale Ridge by the score of 42-0.
The COVID era has provided many challenges for traditional education. However, challenges provide an opportunity for our students, families, staff, and community members to grow and strengthen our district. Be part of a community conversation on November 19th on the district's Facebook page as we present Beyond the Mask, a trust-building and listening tour. On November 19th from Coronado High School, listen to panelists, answer questions covering the topic moving the district forward during the pandemic. Please visit www.d11.org to see a list of all events, times, and to complete a questionnaire form before each event. We hope you will join us.
What makes Colorado Springs School District 11 the standout choice for excellence in education? Some may say it's a dedicated and talented staff who are devoted to the educational learning of our students. Others may say it's the award-winning learning options available to all students, no matter their grade level, whether it's online, hybrid, or in person. And the start of the fourth quarter. And a loss on the play, gain of 3 on the play, going to be 2nd and 11 for Dodges with the carry. Again, Nate Bishop in at quarterback. 2 carries for 10 yards, 2 of 2 passing for 15 yards and a touchdown in his limited duty. Back to throw it now, in trouble, tucks it down, and he'll get to the sideline before he's knocked out of bounds. Pick up about 7 on the play, flag at the 46-yard line. But the clock is running. It will stop for injury, timeout, or a score. And for Wayne Voorhees, a chance to go deep into his bench. This is being marked off against Riverdale Ridge. Second and 15 from the Raven 45. And a jet sweep coming around to this side. Dodgers with the carry. Spotted at the 39, that is a first down. Dodgers flag flies behind him. He hits the hole on the left and is down close to the 25-yard line, but I think this one's going to come back for holding. And holding will be called. first down, but it will be 1st and 20. Two receivers to the left in the formation. Bishop hands it off again. Bordat just fighting on the left-hand side. Picks up 10 from the penalty, and it will be 2nd and 10 for the Ravens. Pressure being shown by the Marauders, and ball comes loose, and still loose, and I think the Ravens got back up on top of it, but this is going to be a huge loss all the way back to the 45-yard line, and the Ravens do have it. Almost disaster. Loss all the way back to the 45. So it will be 3rd and 25 for Riverdale Ridge. 7:25 to go in the ball game. 4th quarter from Gary Berry Stadium. Jet sweep coming around to the near side, cutting it up. And there is a tackle. That might be a block in the back on Riverdale Ridge. Elijah Watson or Lofton with the holding on the offense. So 10 yards from the spot. Lofton on the jet sweep. Off the left-hand side, back close to midfield. Gain of about 13 for Lockhart, Isaiah Lockhart. Just getting what he could. Now it'll be punt formation. Zurich on to do the punting. Gathered in at the 15 and taken up the far sideline. Knocked out of bounds. Close to the 30-yard line. 5:39 left to go. Now we've got some rotation to backups for Riverdale Ridge. Just a few starters in there. Scott out dancing around. Now let's fly intended for Sanchez up the right-hand side. It's incomplete. Even with reserves in there on that defensive line, they are getting all the pressure they want and more. Three receivers to the near side, handed off to Ford off the right side. Good carry by Marcus Ford. He'll be across the 35 to the 36. Gain of 7, bring up 3rd and 3. Scott back looking far side for Sanchez. and it skips in short. So it will be 4th and 3 for the Marauders. Osvaldo Sanchez, the 5'8" junior tight end, has been targeted here a lot tonight. Had the one skip out of his hands on the previous possession that turned into an interception for Riverdale Ridge. Sanchez on to punt. He will stand about his 23. Good high kick. Going to be short, but it's going to take a Mitchell roll. Scooped up and immediately spun down. Demetrius Bigelow with the tackle. Short gain on the play for R.J. Holiday, the junior, as he picks it up off the half. 2:43 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Riverdale Ridge 42, Mitchell nothing. Each team with 3 timeouts left, but we have a running clock. So that's probably the way the game will end. Bishop hands it off. Ordadges to the left-hand side. Gets a little help from his teammates, but they are going to spot him for a short gain of about 1. Out to the 27-yard line. Actually, that'll be no gain on the play. 2 minutes to go here in this one. Mitchell showing pressure, 3-man baseline. Straight up the middle with the carry out to the 40-yard line. Ordadges with the carry. Just 3 carries coming into the game for 2 yards. And now Matt Thompson getting a little assistance and attention from the trainers on that Mitchell sideline. It'll be 1st and 10. Set the chains and get everything right. Start the clock with 1:30 left. Nate Bishop will go under center. Victory formation now for the Ravens. They are going to let this last 1 minute and 11 seconds tick off. They use up all of the play clock. It's at 11 seconds now. 2 kneel downs, and this one will be over. The Ravens will improve to 2 and 3 with an absolute dominant victory here at Gary Berry Stadium over the Mitchell Marauders. One more play, and this one will be over. One more kneel down. "36 seconds on the clock. And there is the kneel down with 30 seconds. So congratulations to the Riverdale Ridge Ravens. They come in and put it to the Mitchell Marauders by the final of 42-0. Convincing win. The Mitchell Marauders fall to 0-4 on the year. And Riverdale Ridge improves their record to 2-3 on the year. I am Barry Reed. Thank you so much for tuning in on the Mitchell Athletics YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed it. Got to see some exciting high school football, at least exciting for one end. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay healthy. Good night.